Greetings, a little over 24 hours left for Dark Vision's Abyss. Pretty much where I'm going to end up. As far as the Beast Boss, we are using a Lightning team. Tyvis is our leader, soldiers, and jump right in, show off the team. Alright, turn 1, Rain is going to Dispel. Season 1 Rain's Omni cover. We're going to throw up a Mirage. We're going to throw up Laswell's Field. And just do anything else. Then Reagan's just going to throw up his field. Guard on everyone else. Alright, turn 2, the boss does too many attacks to actually Mirage it. So we have to worry about our mitigations now. Dark Lord will throw up his 75% mitigation, his resist buff, and his weapon and barrel break. Rain's going to protect, shell, resist buff, and his 90% defense, or his attack and magic break. Reagan is going to triple cast into his 91% defense and spirit break. He needs to put up his Thunder Imbue because we don't actually have one of those on this team. And we'll just use his resist buff too. Laswell is just going to guard here because his Mirage won't do anything. And then Tyvis is going to use his racial defense buff. And the gimmick here is that the boss does a big fixed attack, physical attack fixed damage after eating all your Mirage stacks. So we use Tyvis racial mitigation on that turn. It only lasts one turn. Pretty much made just for this fight, and you don't ever get to use it again. Anyways, Dark Lord has nothing to do here. He's going to guard. We are going to use Rain's Swordmaster Overdrive, just to give us a little bit more defense. It is a 500% defense and spirit buff. This is a turn 5 clear, so it'll be back up again when we need it. We're going to use his 200% Omni Imperil. We're going to use his stat break immunity for the whole party. And then we are also going to use his Thunder Imbue. All Reagan has to do here is 1000% stat buff. That goes to Season 5 Rain. Season 1 Rain is just going to throw up his 600% stat buff on Dark Lord. Laswell is going to use his mod buff, his big defense, or his big attack buff, and then his Thunder Imperil. Tyvis will Beast Killer the party, stat buff himself, and then anything else. Alright, turn 3. We're getting ready for burst next turn. Dark Lord is just going to use all his LB stuff. He has nothing else to do for a third action. Rain's going to amp. Nope, that's not right. Season 1 Rain is going to quadcast. LB buff, amp, and Omni cover. Season 1 or Season 5 Rain, LB buff, amp on Dark Lord. Reagan, LB buff, amp on Rain. Laswell already used his mod buff, and we're going to use his free action here for 2 Mirage stacks. And then Tyvis, standard setup. Alright, burst turn. We're going to use Dark Lord's Soldier's LB buff, Rain self buff, Tygus self buff, Laswell self buff. We're going to use Reagan's 70% Rebel damage buff, and Season 5 Rain stat buff for soldiers. And we're also going to use Season 1 Rain's Soldier Field. And get right into that. It doesn't matter what element we do on Rain because his 4 elements are all at 0%. He is dual element on Thunder. He doesn't have an imbue. Obviously nobody in this party has an imbue, but he is using a Thunder weapon, and we'll go over that in the gear. As far as the training goes, Dark Lord goes first, obviously, and then we're going to solo build this chain with Rain because his damage is basically nothing here. Season 1 Rain. And then everyone else just goes in after the chain's fully built. Max for this team is 88 billion. Average is 70 billion. Highest I've seen is 81. Let's see if we get a miracle real quick. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, 68. Just below average. Anyway, as far as damage goes, Dark Lord's 5.4 to 8.9, so he's pretty much a little above average. Season 5 Rain, 7.2 to 11.6, he's pretty low. Season 1 Rain, 4.1 to 6.7, so he's dead average. Reagan is 9.6 to 17, so he's average. And then Tygus is 14.3 to 22, so he's average. And then Season 2 Laswell is 12.3 to 21.5, so he's below average. Gear goes, so everyone on this team gears pretty easily for beasts. Everyone has 200% base. Killer. Dark Lord is using Nalu's Spear. Good thing about this weapon is that it does have 100% LB damage, so you can use Roka's card without any extra effort. In an ideal setup, you would be using a lightning bow. The only lightning bow in the game is the 2016 Monster Hunter collab. I wasn't playing JP in 2016, but if you were and you have that bow, it would be a pretty good upgrade for him. Yep, chain cap, Esper stats. We got Cecil's SDMR on him just for some resists, just because he has the free slot. Beast Killer from Squall's SDMR. Nothing special. Rain is using Furion's bow. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Which gives 50% LB damage. We got the Final Fantasy X Chronicle item, which gives 50% LB damage, caps him out, so we can use Rain's Vision card, Esper stats, equip bow, 2 sources of Beast Killer. And he is on Bismarck for the chain cap. Laswell using a whip, using a fist, so equip whip, equip fist. Tifa's SDMR caps him out on True Double Hand. He is using Ifrit, which will cap him out on Beast Killer. I don't have the Ifrit Overkiller moves unlocked, which would have been a, probably enough to get me rank 1, just barely, based on the current scoring at least. But you play the hand you're dealt. Season 1 Rain, Nalu SDMR again for that 100% LB damage, and it is a Thunder weapon. There's really no other Thunder weapons we can even use here, so it's kind of convenient that has that 100% LB damage. Univision card. He has a copy of He's getting his killers from his own SDMR, or actually that's Laswell's SDMR, whichever one it is, that gives the 50% beast killer and the chain speed. He is on Garuda, that'll cap him out for beast killer, and it also gives him a little bit more chain speed because he is solo building this chain. Yep. Reagan, Excalibur, Riku SDMR, offhand. Nothing special here. Again, Cecil SDMR for the resists. And then Tyvus, he is on Fenrir. I do have the Fenrir Overkiller unlocked. He does need his own TMR, which is unfortunate because this is only Bird Killer. Besides that, Esper Stats, Squall SDMR, Chain Cap. And he is using the Dark Vision's Greatsword. Anyways, that's the team, that's the build.